Hello everyone, this is White Wolf, and I wanted to do this quick video about being fulfilled and also what that means in terms of gratitude, in terms of longevity, in terms of how you think. Because you can have everything in the world, you can have cars, you can have relationships, you can have opinions, you can have addictions, and all of those things. But to really be fulfilled, to really have success within your happiness, to really feel ecstatic about your life and loving yourself and loving who you are and looking at your existence as a counterpart of the I am presence that you're tapping into. So when we are fulfilled, we have gratitude, we have appreciation, we have this synchronization and this recalibration within ourselves to be that inner being, to be that God realizing itself, to emanate this love and this light, and to see that our success is not our happiness. Our happiness is our success and ultimately our fulfillment. It's the way to be excited. It's the way to follow your excitement above all else, and to know that when you align your actions and your vibrations and your emotions, and also just the way that you feel and you emote and then you project and intend upon that, when you allow yourself to do that, you're changing the scope of the energy. You're seeing that the fulfillment that you are searching for is really the internal seeking. It's what is inside of you. It's how you are powering yourself up with that spiritual mass within yourself. So you're allowing yourself to charge the energy from within because you're following your heart and your mind. You're following the twin heart, the infinity symbol. So you realize that you're infinitesimally favored. Everything is rigged in your favor. So when we are seeking success, we're not really seeking happiness. But when we're seeking happiness, we're actually seeking fulfillment, peace of mind, peace of body, and just having this inner tranquility within inside of ourselves that allows us to follow that excitement, to follow that passion or the inspirations that we have, because we're already initiating the fact that we already have it inside of ourselves. We already have everything that we've ever wanted, that we've ever created. We just have to immerse ourselves within that experience of that consciousness. So when we immerse ourselves within that experience of that said consciousness and that experience and that manifestation that we've always had, we allow ourselves to blend in to the state of being that we actually are, and we're not perpetuating this false identification of the lower self. So we're not allowing our subject to object relationship dictate our life. We're not allowing our circumstances to dictate our life. We're not allowing how we think negatively to dictate how we live our lives, because we wake up in the morning and we find something to live for. We know that this is an ongoing redemption process. And you allow yourself to diminish what is trying to come in the way of your abundance. So don't let anything try to diminish who you are, try to get in the way of who you are. And knowing that when we stop presenting obstacles, we start presenting resolutions and solutions to problems that we have within ourselves, within our life, within our relationships. So fulfillment is truthfully and honestly and authentically our success and our happiness and our inner tranquility and our peace, and the very fact that we wake up in the morning, we get a cup of coffee, we choose to live, we choose to be a part of this human experience, but we're also choosing to show up to our life as if we're meant to be there. So we're showing up, we're allowing ourselves to be dedicated, also to be able to implement our ideas in a way that it's calculated, it's precise, it's not scattered brain, it's not all over the place. So we allow ourselves to find ourselves some flow, some punctuation, and we allow ourselves to see how many combinations we can fit within that. So we're really just changing the different causes and effects that are in our life, the outcomes. So we're not based solely on outcomes. We're not getting muddled within the details. We're not allowing ourselves to stray away from what makes us who we are. And as we are firm and we play with our inner child and we allow our projections to be of a divine masculine nature, because being super masculine or overly masculine is not the divine masculine. So it's encompassing yourself endowed within the light of your spirit and reciprocating God at all costs. So always look at the things that are costing you, look at the things that are limiting you, and just subtract those out of your life and put things within your life that accentuate you, that represent you. Be a representation, be an example of God's source energy. And I think that that is beautiful because our labor is our love, and how much we give allows us to be of service to others. Because every day that we're giving, we are receiving, and we're allowing it to be an energy transference and a fair energy exchange. So when you allow every day to be an energy transference and an energy exchange, what you're doing is that you're tapping more into your transcendental consciousness, because you're coming and migrating back into God. And there is some fluidity, there is some rationality. You're able to ration your thoughts. You're able to think for yourself. So think for yourself and follow your heart. It will never fail you. So follow who you are, and then let the rest just unfold for you. And once we allow this, once we know that the fulfillment comes before anything, the gratitude, the abundance, the positive reinforcement, the motivation, the idea before the energy, and the energy before the idea, when that comes into the sphere of consciousness, we allow ourselves to see how beautiful it can really be, how amazing and wondrous and compelling it can truthfully be if we just allow it to be that way. So it's kind of waking up in the morning and creating everything that you can create in one sitting. How much can you create in one sitting? How much can you do in an hour? How can you be of an essence of prosperity? How can you give your love in a specific way? How can you give yourself to God's source energy? How can you allow yourself to be vulnerable, to be sensitive, to be receptive of source at all costs, in every way, and just give yourself the love. Give yourself to understanding and knowing that you will always be lifted in the highest love and the highest service and the highest light of God's source energy at all times. So allowing ourselves to be present with that. So we allow ourselves to be present with that, but we also allow ourselves to be understanding. And when we allow ourselves to think for ourselves, to act for ourselves, and to realize that we have the willingness to embrace our freedom, to embrace our life as it is right now, and to never look back ever again. I think that's very beautiful. When we know that we're never going to be the same person that we once were before, and that we don't have to look in the rear view anymore, that we can have our eyes set on right now. This very moment is precious. This very moment here, right now, is precious, and it's beautiful in its own light. But it's here, it's in the now, it's in the forever present. And this moment right here, right now, is very much real. Doesn't matter what happened 20 minutes ago, doesn't matter what happened in your life. If you just realize that all of the negative stuff is over, all of the heartache, all of the challenges and the tribulations, but just think of it as expansion, as reflection, as receptivity. And once you do that, your whole life will suddenly change. If you can really believe in your heart of hearts that your life can change within an instant, within a nanosecond, within 24 hours, and be completely different from what it once was. And everything stems from the heart, because that's the first brain. Follow your heart and follow your intuition and follow your discernment at all costs, because it will never lead you astray. The divine never leads us astray. They always give us what we need to succeed, in a sense. Yeah, I always say that I'm going to do a quick impromptu, and then like 30 minutes has passed and I did a whole like meditation and stuff like that. That's usually how it happens. Or I get this thing in my head, I get this sentence, I get this word, I get this theme, and then it just kind of comes out. So let's just do a quick meditation. So take part in this meditation. You can also book private sessions with me for psychic readings, healings, activation codes, downloads, and also White Wolf the Oracle for my YouTube, Instagram, whitewolf4741, and BitChute, Whitewolf the Oracle 23_ symbol. But let's do a meditation. So allow yourself to be comfortable, allow yourself to be open, allow yourself to breathe in the frequency that you really are at this exact moment in time. Envision yourself hiking or getting up in the morning and having a cup of coffee and then meditating, and how it feels to really start off your day on the right foot. How good it feels to just find that punctuation of energy, to find a way to allow, to find a way to flow to your frequency, allowing yourself to pick your own thoughts, to pick your own emotions, to pick the reality that you want to immerse yourself in. Where do you want to be in 5 to 10 years? Where do you want to be in 20 years? Where do you want to be right now? Knowing that you have the choice to do that if you want to. But allow us to leave the past like behind, in a sense. We can finally let go of the past. We can finally let go of what we once were. We can finally put in perspective and come back into balance of really who we are. Not what we think that we are, but who we actually are. The truth, the resonance, the empowerment, the aligned actions that we're able to follow through on, to have the breadcrumb trail of excitement, to have miracle signs and wonders come into your life. Do you want a life of abundance? Do you want a life of tranquility? Do you want a life where you can be vulnerable and sensitive to who you are? That you can literally just be yourself at this moment and give yourself to God and allow God and the divine and your guides and your higher self to take care of all of your burdens and your worries and your questions and things of that nature. So it's like, once we do that, it's very effective because we're taking a weight off of our shoulders. We're not complaining anymore. We're not falling back into a misaligned frame of mind. And we're not scattered. We're not all over the place. We're not looking over here and there and trying to fill the void with this thing and that thing and what that person said, or I was bullied when I was a kid. None of that has no difference over what is happening right now. It has no bearing over what's going on right at this moment. And that's what the present is so beautiful, is because it takes you out of your current experience, but allows you to tap into the energy of the future. It allows you to see those prophetic visions, those words, those things that are being created and molded and generated. So it's like, what do you want? Describe it. Have gratitude, have appreciation, have a way that you can tap into it internally and know that it's there and that it can never be taken away from you. So if you know that it can never be taken away from you, that it can never be altered or discombobulated or put in an illusion that is not of your own making or of your own expression or what you're calling out into the ethers, if you will. Because you're sending that signal out, you're putting it out there, you're giving yourself options. You just have to see that you're giving yourself options. You're giving yourself room to grow. You're giving yourself something to go on, a sense of direction, a sense of elevation. Wow, it's really windy here. That really threw me off. But it's like, feel the power, feel the wind, feel the trees, feel your masculine and your feminine aspects. Also, heal upon what you're suppressing from your heart. And just know that you're the same kind of different as me. We're all unique and special in our own way, and I think we just really need to understand that. So we're all here on this human experience, right? We're all a part of this growing puzzle piece of consciousness, in a sense. So it develops a sense of security and safety and allows you to feel spacious, feel a nothingness, like if it was 0 point creation. But it allows you to have attention, it allows you to have focus, it allows you to concentrate and contemplate things and see them play out. So it's just like, what is it going to be today? What do I want to become today? What do I want to vibrate as today? And it's just allowing yourself to be that whenever it authentically comes, using your wisdom, transcending the human condition, being that loving source, giving, receiving, believing, asking, seeking it out, being a part of the journey, embracing the journey, embracing who you are, and not allowing yourself to ever be the same ever again. Never say never, and it's never too late. And with patience, we can allow ourselves to be in the absence of time. We can appreciate this moment, this peace, this bliss, right here, right now, and it can never be taken away from us. The power will always be there, and you will always become the way, the love, the light, and you will be oracles of the prophetic journey and the expansion of our own consciousness. So this person asked a question, and I hope that meditation was helpful for all of you. I hope you're still on the feed. I actually want to answer your question. You said, I'm looking for a job, and I'm nervous for the interview. It's okay that you're nervous. It's okay that there might be butterflies. But what I would like for you to do, can you see yourself getting the job? Can you see yourself having that confidence, being empowered, listening to music before you walk in there, or redesigning the interview before you experience it? Place yourself there before it happens. This is what I call teleporting into future manifestations. So this is what I call teleporting into future manifestations. So what you're doing is that you know that everything that has ever been manifested, ever been experienced, ever happened, ever, has been created by you. So if it's been created by you, that means you have to place yourself there before you experience that said experience. So it's like seeing it play out, seeing it unfold, but seeing it in a light where it is the most aligned preference and most aligned manifestation. So your question is to dissolve the nervousness of said job interview. So you're like, but if you think of it in that way, it's always going to be depressing. It's always going to be, in a sense, not allowing you to see yourself succeeding, see yourself having abundance or manifesting the prosperity that that job will bring. No matter what it is in your life, you can reframe the mindset. You can place yourself there before it happens. So if it's already happened, if you already know the answers to the test, you already know the answers to the test. And I'm kind of shouting, I need to calm my energy down a little bit. I need to calm down a little bit. I got some caffeine and a cigar. It helps with my throat chakra. But I love your question because I know what that feels like, you know, being nervous or overthinking it or thinking like, how are they going to perceive me? How are they going to feel about me? How are they going to receive me? But if you've already done it, it's already been done, and place your desired reality in the present, and then it is already done for you. It's already happened. So therefore, you're alleviating the tension that you're experiencing because you're not vibrating like nervous. I'm gonna fuck up. I don't want to fuck up, but you're already placing yourself in that fuck up. I know that was kind of blunt, but you get my point. I'm relaying it in a way that you directly understand it, like man to man, psychic to psychic, in a way that you understand it on a surface level. Because I can't just go over you it's like a rapper being too technical and I say something cryptic and I already put all these bars over your head and said all these amazing things and you didn't get it. But it's finding where the punchline is, it's finding where the punctuation is and how to implement it. That's all it really is. So I'm glad that you asked me that question. So thank you all for being a part of this live. This is White Wolf. If you've never been on my lives, that was my meditation, also my messages that I channel for my higher self, and also book private sessions for $70 for 1 hour. Also, you can find me on YouTube, White Wolf the Oracle, Instagram, White Wolf 4741, and also BitChute, White Wolf the Oracle, 23_@. And I hope the internet connection was good because I never really know with these lives if the said internet connection is good. But the one thing I want to lastly say is that you can have success, you can have a toxic relationship, you can have addictions, you can have all of these things in your life. But you can have $1 billion and still not vibrate with confidence, with happiness, with truth. So if we don't have happiness, fulfillment, gratitude, appreciation before we have those future manifestations, because we're not purifying where we're coming from instead of where we're going. So we have to vibrate that prosperity, and we have to have $1 million attitude before we have the said $1 million cars, podcasts, whatever you want to do with your life. So, and that would be what I close with this. So thank you so much. God bless and namaste. Thank you.